For the first circuit in this workout, we're going to be doing our deadlift, so another hinge, and then we're going to be doing a wall throw, rotational, with a big giant step, which will kind of show you. Our goal there is to get a lot of hip mobility in an active pattern. So again, with our barbell, with our hex bar deadlift, I'm going to be inside the hex bar. I'm going to use my grip to pull my hips down, and while I'm doing that, I'm kind of pulling up with my shoulders, lats, shoulder blades, and I'm getting that tension into the bar. So the bar sits on the bottom side of the plates, and what we're going to do is get that tension into the top side of that bar. I'm not lifting up, I'm just trying to connect my body with the bar. My upper body is going to hold the bar, and then our legs are going to drive everything up. So I'm going to use my shoulder blades, upper back, lats to pull myself down. I've got a pocket full of air in my abdomen, and I'm going to drive up, and all that core transfers all that energy from the low side to that high side, okay? Get that connection, drive up. So we want to make sure that we're not pulling with that upper body, that our hips aren't moving before our chest. Keep that nice, good, solid position. The upper body merely connects us with the weight. So we're going to do 8 to 10 there. We're going to have our med ball here. I'm going to use the wall. You can use the outdoor wall. You don't have to have a wall if you don't have access to it. You can just throw it out into the air. This inside foot, I'm going to take a giant step, much like a baseball swing. Big step over as I make my throw. My goal is to get my foot to land and the ball to throw almost at the same time. Big step, throw. I'll reset here. Big step over, throw. Big step over, notice how I counter turn here. Big step, I let my knee come up and I reach out. So I don't just go here, boom. It's a big step over there. We're gonna do 6 on each side. At this point, my heart rate should be up. I'm gonna rest 2 to 3 minutes before I get back in my deadlift. I'm trying to go heavy here, so we're gonna add more weight if you need it. Again, if you don't have a hex bar, kettlebells, dumbbells are obviously okay. Barbells are fine if that's what you're wanting to, focus on that, especially if you're gonna be competitive in barbell lifting. And then each throw here, we're gonna do 6 on each side, is gonna be done with maximum power. So you're trying to throw as hard as you possibly can. For our second circuit in this workout, we're gonna have a landmine. We're gonna do a single arm press. So whatever hand has the barbell, that leg is gonna be back. I'm gonna be in my big toe, so I don't want my feet pointing weird directions. Everything is pointing forward. You may have to adjust how far back or how far forward you are, that's fine. And I'm gonna press up, and then I'm gonna return back down. If you wanna spice this up, we can press up, and then think about pulling the barbell out of the sleeve, which will pull ourselves forward, and then return. Press up, pull yourself forward, and return. Press up, pull yourself forward, and return. We can also, if we're going really heavy, drop into our hips a little bit and push up. We don't want to push our hips to the side and lean at the hips or the spine. We can drop in and use our legs, but we don't want to move laterally. We don't want to push out or anything like that. We want to keep an upright torso position. After that, we're going to rig our TRX to where we're set up with a high grip. I've got this set up with 2 separate handles. You can make it 1 handle. We can even do a 1-arm pull-up on here, which some of us have done this week. To do that, you would loop the handles together and then do exactly what I'm doing one-handed. We'll hang low. Notice how my hips are below my shoulders. I don't want to get out here. I want to be down low, and my hips are going to act as my weight. My feet stay on the ground, and I'm going to pull myself up, keeping my hands close together, and then return. Up and straight down. So our movements are straight up and straight down. There's no flipping of the hips. I can push my feet harder into the ground, and that'll help me up. I just gotta make sure that my hips don't rise before my chest. So we're gonna do 8 to 10 here, and then we're gonna do 10 to 12 here. If you go on a single arm chin up, so if you loop your strap into each other, and then stand here and just do a single arm pull up, then we'll just do 8 on each side. But if we're gonna use both hands, let's do 10 to 12. That'll get us a few more reps. We'll complete 4 rounds of this. After those pull-ups, again, get about 2 minutes rest before we come back to the landmine press. I've got a fun little finisher for the end. We're gonna do a front carry. So we're gonna get a kettlebell, and we're gonna hold by the horn. So hold by the handles here, and we're gonna hold it with a 45-degree angle. So I don't want hold it straight up and down here. I want to hold the bottom out at a 45-degree angle. You're going to feel your biceps, your shoulders, and really your core turn on as well. Our pelvis, we need to make sure we're not dumping our pelvis forward. We want to keep it neutral, so don't dump it backwards also, which is harder to do. But we really want to keep it neutral. And we're going to hold here, out in front, and we're just going to take nice smooth steps, propelling ourselves forward. We're going to try to walk about 50 to 100 yards. We're going to go straight forward, and then if you need to turn around and come back, that's great. If you can walk about 100 yards straight forward, that's great too. After that, we're going to take the ball. I've got a 10-pound ball here. I'm going to get an athletic stance. I'm going to keep my hips still and my head still. I'm going to start slowly turning, keeping the ball off my chest, and I'm trying to turn my chest. I'm not just swinging my arms this way, my body is turning. I got big, hard turns. I'm trying to go hard and fast. I'm speeding it up. I'm gonna do 20 total turns or go for 20 seconds. Again, ramp up, take about 5 to 6 seconds to get to that full speed, and we're trying to go as fast as we can for 20 seconds. If you have access to a sled, this will be our last exercise. We're gonna sit down, and we're gonna have a rope tied to the sled, and we're gonna reach hand over hand, pulling the sled to us. Once we get it to us, we're gonna push the sled back. If you don't have access to a sled or don't have access to a rope, this is a tough one to kind of duplicate. If you do have that, this is a great one to kind of get that big reach, get that shoulder blade out, pull back. If you have a rope and no sled, you can kind of tie the rope up somewhere high, sit down, pull yourself up, let yourself back down. What we're trying to get after is a big reach forward, letting that shoulder blade ride around that rib cage, and then a big retraction. Using your lats, using all those little fun shoulder girdle muscles, using your bicep, using your arms, using all of it together, okay? We're trying to get about 12 to 20 pulls, all right? And then push back. Again, if you don't have a sled, that's gonna be hard to do, all right? But you do have the option to get the ropes. So we have our front carry holding on to the kettlebell out in front of us at a 45-degree angle. The further away from you it is, the more fun you're gonna have. Keep that pelvis still. Use your core to do that. After that, we're gonna have our chops with the ball. Big rotations, keeping that head and hips still, going as fast as you can for 20 chops or 20 seconds. And then we're gonna pull the sled. Again, if you don't have the sled, just attach your rope or straps to something high, sit down, pull yourself up, and then we're gonna push the sled back. So we'll do 4 rounds of that, and that'll finish us up. Have fun.